Have to remember I can't.
What's that?
Okay, nothing. I just have to remember it's not a touch screen. All right, everybody ready? Have to remember I can't.
What's that?
Okay, nothing. I just have to remember it's not a touch screen. All right, everybody ready? Have to remember I can't.
What's that?
Okay, thank you, Travis. I just have to remember it's not a touch screen. Okay, are we all ready? All right, everybody ready? Are you on? When we do the Pledge of Allegiance, we'll just turn towards the flag. Otherwise, they see us mid-drift. Everybody, ready? Well, he'll join in. We can get started. Okay. Call the meeting to order at 6:01. Roll call. Vicky? Nick?
Yes, here.
Christie's here. Alan?
Here.
John?
Here.
Derek?
Here.
And Terry?
Here.
Okay. The Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I approved, we have the additions to the agenda are right here. You'll see them. I think it's just a change, not an addition, it's an amendment. On 10.11, that's a amendment on the grant easement for Waterline for Dollar General Store Development. Okay.
We also have another. There's also another amendment, just to the background for the bus garage. And that is 10.2.
Okay. 10.2. Do you have a motion? Motion to accept the regular school board meeting minutes?
Motion.
It's not the minutes either. Agenda. That was who? Nick? Nick? Second?
Second, Alan.
Second by Alan. Okay, roll call vote. Christie's yes. Alan?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Terry? Derek?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
And Vicky? Yes. Okay. Motion passes. So board reports, 5.1, any board committee and special meeting reports? It's like transportation and activities. How'd those go? Transportation meeting, how'd that, who's on that? Al?
Yeah, that went really well. So it's the easiest negotiations I've ever been on. So,
Lucky you.
yeah.
So,
And,
and it's ready for presentation tonight, right?
yep. It was very reasonable offer, and it was really nice. So,
Good.
yep.
Perfect. Activities.
We had a joint activities committee meeting, went over a lot of different things, went over the handbook update, went over the annual cooperative expenditure review, Once again, both districts were very close in spending. It came down to, at the end, when the split cost calculation, we were down to within $949.67.
Wow.
And so, once
Good
again.
job, Michelle.
Yeah, great job. Went over the summer workout procedure. Monoman had open facilities and had some of their protocols in place, so they were opening up workouts. As of last Sunday, we have protocols in place for baseball. They're practicing on Sunday nights. And we have our weight room protocols open with social distancing and our cleaning procedures in place for the small weight room. Everything else is being worked on for the summer, so we are not open for anything else at this point. And then we talked about Plan A, B, C, D, and E for what might happen with activities in the fall. And what we're told with the high school league is what's going to happen with the high school league is going to follow what's going to happen with the school. So we'll have to see what happens as we go ahead. And then we talked about coaches and what's going to happen if the season doesn't happen. Just talked about scenarios there and following the contract. Anything I missed for the committee members? Anything you want to add? Questions?
I have a meeting with the State High School League tomorrow. I doubt they'll have any information, but just so you guys know that 10:45 on Thursdays is they have a Zoom meeting with all the ADs in the state. So they haven't had much information other than go back and forth. We're going to have sports. We're not going to have sports. We're leaning towards sports. We're not leaning towards sports. I don't expect anything to change tomorrow. I think everything will be decided on that. When is it, July 27th, when the governor is making the decision? So, just so you know, that's the big thing for AD World tomorrow at 10:45.
Okay, thanks, Paul. Was that it for activities? Okay. Principals, Lori.
Good evening. It's a pretty short report this month, but I am asking permission to hire Carrie Ladwig and Melissa Lanou for the Get Busy, Get Fit paraprofessionals for summer school. We're looking to have that happen in place of recess time so that they are able to stay with small groups. Bobby Bringleson will also be helping coordinate that. We have information that's been shared with staff in regards to movement within the building this coming year, so they're aware of that. And the custodial team's been doing a nice job getting everything moved from one room to the next. So things are going well there. We're working to transition from Skyward to Synergy. The office staff has had 4 days of training now. And the teachers are scheduled to have their training day in August. It's looking to be user-friendly, so that's a plus. And we continue to plan for the elementary summer school to be held in Ogama during August. And of course, we're hoping that we can be in person with them, but we'll just have to wait and see if anything changes there. We've been in touch with both teachers and then also making family contacts the last couple of weeks and having good conversations about how we would be doing social distancing and keeping the group small. So things have been going well with that. And then as far as recognitions, just a big thank you to our custodial team for working together to help Ogama Elementary shine. So, any questions?
No.
And then just to clarify, we'll follow the governor's recommendations for that summer school also. So if they say that we will not be coming back in person, then we won't be holding that session. So, and Lori has been communicating that to parents as she's been visiting with them, that we'll have to follow the COVID guidelines, so.
Yes.
Did it again. All right, Eric, sorry, I was muted.
No problem. I was going to go, but I figured I shouldn't until I actually heard from you. Great for staffing. We have a social studies teacher, and then we were able to get, well, actually, we got 3 social studies teachers. One that's going to be taking the social studies position, and then we're going to have 2 that are going to be teaching EBD and LD. So we lucked out. That's a big boon for us. We're interviewing for the high school secretary tomorrow, and we'll be posting for the Waban ISS position soon. There's a couple of things I want to get cleared up before we do that. We moved our current ISS person into a para position. And then under school management and function, I just wanted to give John Short and Courtney Weston shout out just because they did a tremendous job, made sure that our kids got some credits. Graduation planning is occurring. The things we have for sure is that it is going to happen at 5 o'clock next Friday afternoon, so the 24th. Hopefully the governor doesn't come out and say something prior to that. We're gonna move forward. Thus far, we did a student survey. 15 of the graduates have already locked in and said they'd be there. And I think about 10 of them are bringing the there. I do want to say thank you to our custodial staff, like Lori did. Our building is incredibly clean and shiny, and our tech staff has done a tremendous job. If you ever in the building during the day, you see all those guys just running around like crazy, and our office staff are being limited and still doing a great and fantastic job. Any questions for me?
Nope, I missed a part of at the end though, I think you were
Or did I cut out?
cutting out, but
Oh.
I think it was okay. I think we got the gist of it.
Perfect.
Anybody have any questions? Nope, okay. We'll move on. Thank you, Eric. Charlene is not here, so Michelle, business manager. Right ahead. God, I thought I did.
Okay. So we actually got a call about a week and a half ago or so, following up on our Indian policies and procedures. You'll see that in the packet later on. And what it was a call from our support person. Her name is Kara Cruz. Was really great to work with, but just had some simple suggestions to keep our IPP up to date and in compliance with some of the changes that they made at the federal level, just to make sure that we're addressing those and have a procedure, a more detailed procedure for if the parent committee or the tribe comes back with suggestions for us. So we worked through that with her, and she kind of gave us the go ahead and said, send me your final after it's approved after the board meeting, and you should be good. You should make it through the 21 review cycle and be set to go. So we'll look for that to come in the near future. Audit work, busy prepping and compiling information for the audit already. So we have a ton of work to do, and we've done a ton of work, but there's a lot more to do yet. So, and then just initially looking at the information ending last year, we're ending last year with a positive balance. I want to look at, we've been so busy with so many different things going on that I want to take some more time before I give you guys any hard numbers to go through some things a little bit more. I haven't even started looking at adjusting entries or anything like that. I do know that it is positive though. So, and negotiations, like Al touched on, that was probably the easiest negotiations we've ever been through. So, and then we've started working on at-will. We'll be looking to set up those meetings, and then non-certified, I believe, shortly thereafter. And then bond payments went out for, they're due the beginning of August, but they have to be received before a certain deadline so that the bond trust services can be the paying agent and pay those funds for us. So those will be on next month's report for bills. And then I just wanted to make mention, the online auction that we had through KBID actually did very, very well. We had not a ton of big things, but a lot of small miscellaneous stuff. And I think by the time everything is said and done, and it's not completely settled yet, we're still waiting for one guy to come and pick up the pickup. But we're looking at about $5,800 for that stuff that we sold. So it actually went over very, very well.
That's good.
Does anybody have any questions?
Nope. Okay. Superintendent Weber. Thank you, Michelle.
If you can see at the beginning of my report, it says everyone is busy. I don't think there's anybody that's working this summer that is not incredibly busy with everything that's going on. And a lot of it is fallout of the pandemic. But we've got the construction project, lots of negotiations going on and negotiation preparation. You know, some of the things I didn't even list on there. There's more unemployment hearings and unemployment issues going on, and that kind of paperwork related work, and summer ordering, invoicing, summer hires, summer projects, student information and food service system. If you remember, we're rolling over to Synergy. So all the system upload and system transfers and trainings around that. A lot of licensing work going on, policy work, budget and audit work, grant management. Which, by the way, we found out today we got the Literacy grants. So that was very good news. So it was a great celebration, and then right away it was, there's more grant work. So with that celebration comes a lot more work. And so 1920 end of year reports, 2021 start of year workshop, training, planning, preparation. So lots of good work going on in the district on behalf of our kids, students, and community. But boy, are people busy. And I always imagine that it can't get busier, and it certainly does. But you can know that you got people doing good work and working hard. I listed some of the things going on just so that you're aware. A lot of them benefit you just to see what's happening. You can see that we've got a lot of the construction meetings happening, trainings, groundbreaking ceremonies, just to kind of give you an overview. And as soon as we printed those, we keep adding. I added today some more things going on. So I'll continue to kind of give you a running list so that you're aware in my Weber Weeklies. We know that it added to that with the staff back to school, we're going to have to do professional development for whichever plan it is we go back to school. We'll need to be giving teachers writing and planning time. We'll need to have some of the things we heard from our non-professional staff, or not non-professional, non-certified, is that they need professional development. They felt like they were not equipped to deal with some of the technology issues, some of the tutoring that they were doing, some of the things that we were asking them to do. So we know that our non-certified staff is going to need some professional development training. So we know that we'll have to work on that. The back to school plan, we have a committee that we're working with that represents not certified, certified staff. We've got different departments within the district that are working, from food service to custodial, to our different office areas, secretarial, administration. And we are all working to look at what are we going to do with the 3 different plans, whether it's in person with social distancing and safety procedures in place, hybrid with in person, or distance learning. Looking at all 3 of those areas and looking at plans. We're surveying. We'll send out another staff survey and get information from them, and taking the feedback that we're getting to try to create the best plan we can for all 3 scenarios. Regardless what the governor says on which plan we go back to school with, we have to be ready to transition to those plans throughout the year. So we will have a plan with all 3 of those scenarios in place. I didn't mention transportations on that committee. So we've hit every area that's working on that. And when you make a decision in one area, it impacts the other areas. So how we decide to transport kids and deliver food or work with food impacts every other area. How we deliver educational or instructional services impacts, everything else of how we're going to transport. So all those decisions and all those people need to be represented and at the table and get that feedback so we know how that impacts everybody else. So that's a great deal of work being done to try to make the best decisions. And then how does that impact family and childcare and all of those things? So that's some good discussion and good work. No matter what, there may not be the best solution for every family, but we're trying to consider the needs of every family when we make those decisions. They just came out today with Make a Plan Minnesota, which is a plan for children if families become ill or if their parents become ill. And so we will be passing that information along to our families, and that will be very important for the safety of our kids in school. So you'll see information coming out or being passed along from the district, so that if we have a family or a family member gets sick, that families have a plan on where and what to do with their children so that they don't get sick. What we do know is that when somebody in the household gets sick, the whole household gets sick. And so that came out today with plans to try to help our local families make those decisions and plans so that if we are in session or doing hybrid sessions, learning, that we can try to protect our community as best we can and our learning community. And then if you notice NAFIS Virtual Fall Conference, there will not be a NAFIS conference. They are going to do it virtual, which gives us an opportunity to increase participation. I just did get done last week doing a federal conference. It was very effective. We did lobby with the Association of School Superintendents, Officials International and National. And it was, we talked about educational technology and the homework gap, did some lobbying in that area. The IDEA flexibility or special ed flexibility that's required under COVID, how it's hard to meet the paper requirements and the timeline requirements under these circumstances, and asking for some flexibility, not in services, but in those requirements. Determining equitable services under the CARES Act and funding. And then child nutrition, asked that they continue the waivers for us. And then looked at COVID funding and that they increase funding and make sure they secure funding in September. And then liability protection. Schools are not included in any of the liability legislation that's out there right now, just businesses. So we are lobbying that they include schools under liability. And so encourage you to take a look at those dates for fall lobbying and the conferences that prepare us with that information so that we can be effective advocates for our kids and families. Any questions for me?
No, thank you, Lisa. I'm just kind of wondering what they're going to look like on what the governor's going to propose. I think North Dakota just came out, and I think theirs is going to put it back on the school districts. So that's going to be interesting. Huh?
I was pretty sure we were going to go back to a hybrid model because that gives everybody a balance and a choice. But the cases are growing a little bit, so we will see. For learning, it's best to have everybody back in school, but we will see.
Okay, moving on to Paul. Paul, do you want to present yours, or does anybody have any questions? Looks like you got quite a bit going on. You on, Paul?
Sorry, Noah, I needed something. Did I go at the wrong time?
It's just your report. Do you have anything to add to your report?
No, just like I said, the state high school league meetings Thursdays now. And I don't expect much information from them, but I'll keep you in the loop.
Okay, that'd be great. Appreciate
Any
that.
questions for me?
Anybody else? Okay. Nope, thank you, Paul. All right, we'll move on to Dan's. The facilities, maintenance director, Dan, and is there any questions on that at all? He's been busy. The ball fields are in excellent shape. That's good to hear. All right. Let's see here, Travis. Okay. Anybody have any questions for Travis? Technology-wise? All righty. So we have no representatives of the certified and non-certified. So we will look at the consent agenda. Does anybody have any questions on the consent agenda?
The only thing would be the paras for the Get Busy program are at the $18 an hour because they're Get Busy paras, so that on their rate sheet's wrong, so $18 an hour.
Okay. That would be 655 and 656.
Yes,
No, 654 and 655.
654 and 655, yes.
All righty.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by John,
Second.
second by Nick. Great. Okay, roll call vote. Christie, yes. Alan?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Derek?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Vicky? Motion passes. 7.0 recognitions. Thank you for 35 years of service to Bruce Borgrud. What a positive impact on our students and families your career as a bus driver has made. You will be missed. Does anybody have any other recognitions in place? Okay, thank you. So we have no public comment. And now we'll move on to new business. 10.1 is approve award of construction contract for work scope number 2 on ISD 435 construction and renovation project as recommended.
We've got Jordan and Justin on, so did you guys want to address that?
Sure. Thanks, Lisa. Yeah, Jordan with ICS here. Just background, on the original bid, we did have a tied bid for work scope number 2 concrete. At the last board meeting, we did have approval to go out and seek new bids for that. So we did rebid work scope number 2. That being said, the results were very positive. The original bid was for the original 2 tied bids were for $225,000. After the rebid, we did receive a low bid of $198,500. So we do recognize some savings there. That being said, we have analyzed the bid and it appears to be whole. So we are recommending to award that base bid and alternate as described in our recommendation letter.
Okay, so this is to approve the award construction contract for work scope number 2 on the, whoops, sorry. So this is to approve the award of construction contract for work scope number 2 on ISD 435 construction and renovation project as recommended to, did we say who it is? It just says that?
It is to TF Powers Construction.
Okay. For the amount of $198,500. Do I have a motion? Further discussion?
Terry, move.
Terry, motion by Terry, second by
Derek.
Derek. Any further discussion? Okay. Roll call vote. Christie, yes. Derek?
Yes.
Alan?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
John? Vicky?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
All righty, motion passes. I think that was, okay, 10.2, we had an addition and change in that. I think, Jordan, this is yourself as well, right? Approve award of construction contracts for the Wobbin Bus Garage renovations as recommended.
Yep. And so we've got the recommendation hasn't changed. It's just some clarification in the background information. So I'll let you take it from there, Jordan.
All right, thank you. So yeah, we have been working with Dan Gunther to develop the scope for this project, and we did go out and solicit proposals from multiple contractors. That being said, we have identified 3 contractors that we are recommending award to. The first one is Mid-State Insulation in the amount of $44,400. That is for the spray foam of the building. Up-down door for overhead doors is the second one in the amount of $9,576. And then the third is mechanically Tweeten refrigeration, and the amount of that proposal was $29,050. So after talking with Dan and Lisa and identifying what the project needs are, we are recommending award to these contractors. This is a little bit different. We will not be drafting the contracts, but the district will be signing their proposals. So like Lisa had alluded to earlier, we did add some clarifications to the proposals to make sure that we have everything, all of our expectations are laid out. And I had communicated that with contractors also, so they are understanding that we will be marking those up if we are to proceed. But this is under our budget by approximately $6,000. So overall, we're happy with these proposals. And again, we are recommending to award those as stated in our letter.
Okay, so the total bid amount was $83,026.
Correct.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the award of construction contracts?
Motion, Nick.
Motion by Nick,
Second, Derek.
second by Derek. Roll call vote. Terry,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
Alan,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Derek,
Yes.
and Christie is a yes. Motion passes. Okay, thank you, Jordan.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a good day. Are you
Thanks,
sticking on?
everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, 10.3. Approve bread, milk, and fuel bids for the 2021 school year. Somebody want to talk about those? Or?
Did we get whole milk this year?
No. I think did everybody find the rate sheet?
I did not.
It was, I think it was stapled on the back of the bid packet.
Oh, okay.
So if you rip that last page off.
Okay. If you look at the bids we received for breads, we had 3 different bids that came in. Pan Gold was the bread. And for milks, we had 2 different bids come in. And Avera from Dean Foods was the best bid. And for Fevig is the oil company. That's the only bid that came in. Did you want to talk at all about more in depth on those, Michelle? Okay.
Unless somebody has a question.
Any questions? Derek, did you want to? Okay.
A motion, Derek.
Motion by Derek, second.
I'll second.
Second by John. To approve the bread, milk, and fuel bids for the 2021 school year. Was fuel bid in there? Oh, yeah, it was. Fevig was the only one? All right. Okay, we will roll call vote again. Christie's a yes. Derek?
Yes.
Alan?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Vicky? Terry? Yes. Motion passes. 10.4, approve second reading of the 2021 calendar handbook. I like the cover.
There hasn't been any significant changes since the last one, other than the updating of the fees and the board approved changes in the last meeting. However, I do want to mention that there could be some changes with Department of Education coming out with some changes due to COVID. So we may have to make some last minute changes and try to get it to the printer. Looking at the last special session changes, there weren't any significant policy changes. That just got, they just sent out some things on this last second session and I didn't see any changes. for policy. But we will have to watch what comes out from Department of Ed.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions? Eric, anything to add to that? Nope.
No, but I thank you for the recognition on the editing change. That was Deja. So a little recognition for Deja there. She,
Yeah, that looks great.
yeah, I thought so too. So
Kiddo.
I'll motion, Derek.
Motion by Derek, second.
Second by John.
Second by Joan. Okay. Roll call vote. Christie's yes. Alan?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Eric?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
And Vicky? Yes. Okay, motion passes. Approve the second reading of fiscal year 21 to 30. Wow, doggone, I can't even say that. 2030. Long-term facility maintenance plan, the LTFM 10-year expenditure plan application.
I didn't even put the plan in again. There are no changes from the last meeting. And one of the reasons we even do a second reading, it's not required, is because there's a long-term facility maintenance after the June meeting. So just in case there's changes, we like to put it in again, just in case we want to make changes. So, but there were no changes. Even after we had this Department of Ed meeting on LTFM, we were good to go with what we had done in the first place, what Dan and Michelle had done with projected planning. So this plan is good for submittal unless there's any changes since we met last month from the board.
Motion, Derek.
Motion by Derek.
Second by Alan.
Forgot to second by, a motion by Derek and second by Alan. I forgot mine was on mute again. Okay, roll call vote. Christie, yes. Ellen?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Derek?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
And motion passes. Thank you. Okay, 10.6. Approve updated Indian policies and procedures.
As Michelle already talked about this in her report, it's more specific language if we were to have an audit in the future, so it aligns with policy, federal policy updates and changes. Nothing was significant. It really was cleaning up language and just aligning, tighter to policy. So it's in yellow. Did anybody have questions?
No, I think I look at it and it actually looks pretty good.
Yeah, it just really was clear, more specific.
Right, that's good.
Motion, Derek.
Motion by Derek. Second
Terry.
by Terry. Okay. Roll call vote. Christie, yes. Derek?
Yes.
Alan?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Did I get yes, Vicky? Oh, did you say so? Sorry. Yes or no? Yes, okay. Motion passes. Okay, 10.7, approve second reading of the Thunderbirds handbook. Or 10, no, mine says 7.
IPP. Oh, got it again. Go 10.8, got on there twice.
Oh, wait, no. Okay, we have one on there twice, because I just got the second one of Thunderbirds and then MSBA.
Didn't we already do that?
That's the
Yeah, we
coaches
did
of
it
volleyball.
twice. Oh, no, Thunderbirds handbook, you're right, sorry. Thunderbirds handbook, I'm sorry. Wow. My apologies. I'm back.
Confusing me.
Thunderbird handbook, correct. We did talk about it at the Joint Activities Committee meeting, and there were no additions or changes to the Thunderbird handbook. So once again, we didn't put that in. So we're good to go. Sorry.
Do you have a motion to accept?
I'll motion.
Motion by
Second.
John, second by Derek, right?
Nick.
Nick, second by Nick. Roll call vote, Christie, yes. Alan,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Derek,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Vicky? Yes. Okay, motion passes. Approval of MSBA membership renewal 2021.
Well, I'm ready for this one. MSBA membership dues are based on ADMs, and so there is a slight increase because our enrollment went up. So MSBA dues are $4,447. And obviously, the School Board Association is a membership that we should continue our renewal and membership.
Motion, Derek.
Motion by Derek, second.
Second by Alan.
Second by Alan. Roll call vote. Christie is a yes. Derek,
Yes.
Alan,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
and Terry.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Approved 2021 Thunderbird Fall football coaches and volleyball coaches. Does anybody have any questions on those?
The only change would be the addition of a junior high coach for volleyball as one of our new teachers, Shania Geiser.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's similar, same coaches as last year.
Motion by Alan.
Motion by Alan, second.
Second, Derek.
Second by Derek. All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, wait.
Oh,
Oh, roll call vote. Christie's a yes. Alan,
yes.
John,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Derek,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
and Vicky.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. We have 10.10 is approve the resolution to rename and dedicate the Ogama Media Center as the Mary Dorman Media Center in honor of her many years of service and in her memory. And where's, do we have the resolution? Okay, well, I can get through this. A resolution dedicating Ogama Media Center to be renamed the Mary Dorman Media Center. Whereas the Waban-Ogama Wider School District and the greater community lost a valued member, friend, and mentor on June 15, 2020. Whereas Mary Dorman dedicated 32 years of generous service and commitment to the children in Ogama Media Center, and whereas Mary Dorman shared her love for books, reading, children, coworkers, and community. And whereas Mary Dorman's legacy lies in the profound effect she has had on the countless children and the men and women she has taught, nurtured, and mentored. Therefore, be it resolved that the Waban-Ogama Wider School Board renames the Ogama Media Center to be the Mary Dorman Media Center on this 15th day of July in the year of 2020. Do I have a motion? I didn't hear that. Vicky? Yeah. Motion by Vicky.
Second, Derek.
Second by Derek. Okay, roll call vote. Christie, yes. Alan?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Derek?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
And Vicky. Motion passes. We'll have a dedication. When we do that, when we're able to, we'll have a dedication at the library with a plaque and things like that.
Thank you very much.
It's an honor.
Thank you.
Okay. 10.11, approve request to grant easement for water line for Dollar General Store Development Action. And there's an amendment that there was with you guys.
If you could take a look, we've got a picture in your original background information, and then plus there's an updated certificate of survey. This was a request of Dollar General Store Department But the engineer just sent the certificate of survey today, and if you notice under certification, it says preliminary instead of signed. They're really trying to hustle and get this going. The Dollar General store would be kind of across the street from the Easy One store. And they are asking for, if you click on that background information, they're asking to be able to extend a 6-inch water main just east of the city water tower to the store. And they want some preliminary review and approval of the proposed water main location as it crosses part of the ball field area in a location that's approved shown. And so if you look at the picture, it shows just part of it in the back part of the fence by the baseball dugouts. Then the survey shows a little bit better picture, drawing of where it would come across. And it's just that back part, it looks like. I talked with our attorney today because I was expecting a better, more specific certificate of survey. And he suggested that we amend the motion to say pending terms and conditions as negotiated by the superintendent. Because if you approve the plan, then it still gives us legal conditions for me to negotiate to make sure that that there is some legal conditions on the terms that they are viable and legal and it doesn't harm the baseball field itself, and that they need to fix any fencing, fix anything that's outside the field area. If it is near those dugouts, they have to replace the dugouts and so on. We don't want the turf we just get put in to get, torn up or destroyed, or even if they replace it, not have it ready for the season. Hopefully we get one, and so on. So that's why you see an amended motion there to say pending terms and conditions to make sure that we agree with this. On the same hand, as you consider this, if we put it off another month, it might put them behind in their plans and put it at risk that we don't get the store or delays their plans and putting the store in place. So the other option, if you don't want to do this now, is we table it and we wait another month. So it'd be considering moving ahead with pending terms and conditions, and that gives me the right to negotiate, make sure that it doesn't harm the field, and that I'd work with our attorney to make sure that we get that right legal terms in place, or we wait.
When are they hoping to do the construction? Is this going to interrupt any time, like loss of the field?
He was worried about it waiting to August 19th would interrupt their process, so they're hoping to get it in soon.
But I mean, would this interrupt if softball were to happen or baseball were to happen? Would we lose access to use this field with construction going on?
No.
No, they put those things up like matchsticks. I mean, they're blinking, they're up, so I couldn't foresee that happening.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by John Zima, second.
Second.
Second by Derek. Okay, roll call vote. Christie's a yes. Alan?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Harry?
Yes.
Derek?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
And Vicky?
Yes.
Motion passes. So you will take care of that and get things rolling?
Yeah,
All right,
and then
thank
I'll just
you.
keep you informed as I go along.
10.12, approve the purchase of 120 smart spots by Khajiit using GEAR grant funds to help provide internet access to families if we are in distance learning or hybrid learning.
And I think at this point, we're going to use those GEAR funds to purchase them regardless, because we are going to move in that direction at one point or another throughout the year anyways. The benefits, and you'll see this service agreement with it also, with the benefit of the Khajiit compared to other hotspots is there's a filter on them. And the district can monitor them, the district can turn them off. So there's a lot more management on a Khajiit than there is on a hotspot that's purchased through Verizon or through Arvig. So that's a benefit for the district. It's safer for our kids to use for that reason. So we can put some filters on it. The other thing is Michelle was costing them. We purchased them for 6 months. it was a much more reasonable cost. So all of them are expensive, but it was a much more reasonable cost, and it would be purchased with those GEAR funds, which is part of that CARES Act funding. Anything that I missed, Michelle or Travis, that you wanted to add to that?
Alrighty, do we have a motion?
Motion, Nick.
Motion by Nick. Second.
Second, Derek.
Second by Derek. All in favor? Wait, no, sorry. Must be in a hurry to get out of here, huh? Roll call, Christie, yes. Alan?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Derek?
Yes.
Nick?
Yeah.
Vicky? Yes. Thank you. Motion passes. Okay, 10.13, approved pupil transportation agreement.
As Al referred to, this was great transportation negotiations. The drivers came in with a reasonable offer. Transportation Committee, Derek and Al, considered it, and it was agreed upon. It was very, very good negotiations. What they talked about was doing a years 1, 2, 3, and 4 being negotiated at one time. So we split it into a years 1, 2, with both parties having a right to open up negotiations for years 3 and 4 if they chose to. And so the contract is July 22, or 20 through 22, 22 through 24. So that's the first part, and that was the only language change. So you notice that in red in the front of the contract. Then if you go to the last pages 7 and 8, you'll see some changes in red there, if you had a chance to look at that. There's an increase of $10 on the late bus for the first year only, and an increase of 5 cents per mile for all 4 years. Year 1 is a 4.2% increase, years 2 through 4 is a 3.2, 3.3, and 3.3. Did you want to talk to anything else? Were there any questions about that?
Okay. All right. So I have a motion.
Motion, Derek.
Motion by Derek.
I'll second it.
Second by Terry. Roll call votes. Christie? Yes. Alan?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Derek?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Vicky? Yes. Motion passes. 10.14, approve designation of official authority for the MDE External User Access Recertification System.
This is a required approval that comes every year in front of you, so, and it's usually the superintendent and superintendent's assistant. So recommend that Tammy and I be approved as the Iowa. You'll see a form that needs to be sent into the Department of Ed.
Also.
Motion by John, second.
Second, Derek.
Second by Derek. Christie, yes. Derek?
Yes.
Alan?
Yes.
Nick?
Oh, yes.
John?
Yes.
Vicky?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes. Succeeding meetings, groundbreaking ceremony for the, out here? or
Construction
out-
project. It'll be over
here?
here. Yep, where the 4th grade wing is going to be.
July 28th at 2 PM down here.
And
We're gonna have
then-
a special board meeting.
Yep. And that will be to approve the contracted bus route. And that contracted bid opening is at 7:30 a.m. So Derek, if you're able to be there. You're,
I'm gone from the 24th, so Friday to August 1st.
okay. Al, could you be there?
Yep, I should be.
Okay, that would work, because then we'd have you from transportation and, so if we can do that, that's 7:30 a.m. And Pine to Prairie meeting is July 27th. I sent you an invite, Terry. July 27th at 7:00 p.m. And it's virtual, so it'll be a Zoom meeting. And then we will be I talked with the at-will committee. We'll be setting up some time to do some at-will, hopefully towards the end of next week. At-will negotiations, and then non-certified negotiations, looking at possibly the following week. So,
And then we were looking at the dedication ceremony, when? Kind of putting it with our opening.
my thought is you can talk about it as a board, but my thought is it would be nice to see what the governor's announcement is. And if we could do that when our staff are back, that would be very nice. Now, if they say we're doing remote distance learning, then maybe we want to do something with a live feed earlier. But my thought was, let's wait and see what the 27th brings, and then we can order a plaque in the meantime and have that ready to go. But let's see what the governor says, and then it would sure be nice if we had kids and staff back. Does that sound reasonable?
Very, thank
Okay.
you. Okay, motion to adjourn at 6:56.
All motion.
Motion by John, second.
Second.
Second by Nick. So the roll call vote again. Christie's yes. Ellen?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Larry?
Yes.
Derek?
Yep.
Nick?
Yes.
And Vicky. We are adjourned at 6:56. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
How about your pen a second, Vic?
Yeah.